Welcome back to Tang Time, where I teach you how to lower your score without having to work on your golf swing. On today's agenda, I'm going to teach you how to play a fairway bunker. Fairway bunkers are meant to be penalizing, so we have to be smarter than the golf course architect and get ourselves back into play without wasting too many shots. The reason why you were in a fairway bunker to begin with is you either 1, hit a bad drive, or 2, picked a bad line on your drive. Don't waste a shot in the fairway bunker because you hit a bad one off the tee. These are moments in your round where you have to be mentally tough and just swallow your pride. Today, I'm going to give you some tips so that you don't end up exploding your score just because you found a fairway bunker. So let's get you good at golf. So when you're in a fairway bunker, we want to try to pick the ball pretty clean. When you're doing that, you're going to hit the ball a little bit low on the club face, and you're not going to catch as many grooves, which is why I always add 10 yards to the shot I'm expecting to hit. The second thing I do is that I want to maintain my spine angle. The worst thing you can do in a bunker is to dip or stand up. When you change the levels, it's going to affect where the bottom of your arc is, and that means you can either chunk it or scull it. So what you want to do, just like a regular bunker shot, we're going to sit with our weight just a little bit in our heels. This is going to help us maintain our levels. When you're set up this way, it is very easy for you to move your spine angle up and down. So when you set up a little bit in your heel, your spine angle is more upright. That makes it more difficult to get lower and higher. So if you're set up like this, it's very easy. Tilt your spine angle up and down. When you're set up like this, it maintains your levels a lot more sturdier. So when I'm in a fairway bunker, I set up a little bit more upright. I take a little extra club, I play the ball a little ahead of center. When the ball is ahead of center, you're catching it on the upswing, which means you're going to catch it very clean. And the only thought I should have is that I'm going to maintain my spine angle throughout the swing. And remember, you are committing to the shot. Don't quit on it, because that'll cause you to dip, or decelerate is going to cause you to dig into the ground. And that will just flub the golf ball, and it might stay in the bunker. What is the goal when we're in a fairway bunker? Get the ball back in play. That's correct. Our goal is to get our ball back into play. It's very tempting to be too aggressive when you're in a fairway bunker and cause yourself way more problems. Remember, to eliminate those doubles, triples, and quadruples, we want to get our ball back into play as fast as possible. So I find myself in a fairway bunker. First, we need to assess the shot. If you haven't seen my video on pre-shot routine, go check it out. So I'm on a very good lie, a little bit on an upslope. I've got 104 yards downwind. It looks like this bunker lip is not going to give me any trouble at all. Pin is in the back of the green, so I'd like to hit about a 100-yard shot. We're going to take into account that's downwind, so I need to hit about 95 yards. When you're playing in the bunker, remember, we want to hit a very clean shot. We are picking the ball off of the sand. So I'm going to add an additional 10 yards. So from 95, that's back to 105. And now I'm going to pick the club that's going to go 105 yards. I can either hit a choke down pitching wedge or a full 50-degree wedge. Because I'm on an upslope and in the bunker, I'm going to pick the pitching wedge, which gives me much more room for error if I happen to hit a little more sand than I want to. All right, so I've picked a good line. I've got a choke down pitching wedge in my hands. Got the ball a little ahead of center. I'm going to maintain my spine angle, and I'm going to hit a nice clean shot. Not bad. So my driver found the bunker on a par 5. This is going to be a very different kind of fairway bunker shot than the previous one that I showed you. So let's assess this shot. I have 240 yards to the pin, but this is a pretty high lip. You might think, oh, I should play a 5-iron or a 6-iron to get as far down as possible. But what if you clip this lip? That means your ball is going to pop up and land just 20 yards ahead. And now you're going to have a 220-yard third shot into this green. I know that an 8 or a 9-iron is going to comfortably get over this lip. So if I hit about a 140-yard shot, that means my third shot is only going to be 100 yards into the green. And I know I can make a birdie from 100 yards. So you don't need to feel like you have to get this ball as far down there as possible. Make sure that you give yourself plenty of room to get over this lip and know that your third shot is still gonna be inside the scoring zone. I've got a 9-iron here because I'd rather be safe than sorry. I wanna make sure to get it over this lip. I've choked down a little bit to help me control the yardage, sitting back in my heels just a little bit, weights on my left side, and I'm gonna hit this ball clean. And we're back in play. So let's see what would have happened if I hit a 5-iron. Got my setup. I'm gonna hit it clean. And now I gotta do it all over again, but now I'm even closer to the lip. So let's make sure we get our ball back into play on the first try. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You get to a reachable par 5 and you pump your driver into a deep fairway bunker. You're so pissed that you can't go for the green that it takes you 2 shots to get out of this fairway bunker and back in play. Now you're pissed off and you're gonna show the golf course and you start hacking it around. You end up taking an 8 on the hole. You get to the next tee box and you're still fuming. And then you hit your ball straight out of bounds and it just goes downhill from there. I know it's happened to you. Maybe not exactly that way, but somewhere along those lines. Am I right? So the next time you find yourself in a fairway bunker where you shouldn't have hit it, just take a breath, get yourself back in play, take the par or the bogey, move on to the next hole. Don't let that one mistake be the catalyst to ruining a great day and a great round. And remember, when you're whining, nobody wants to play golf with you. Comment below a situation you found yourself in because your ego was a little too big for its own good. So please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for my next episode.